Let us break barriers. Let us build resilience, and let us ensure that she is indeed included. To every woman out there, you are seen, you are valued, you are included. Let us make this change together. Thank you.
Senator Dam Hasida, the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President. Over the last 12 months, the Office of the Vice President has been involved in championing women's
Very ready.
Hello, welcome back to the interview booth. Okay.
Proud to be associated with this initiative.
Okay.
Hello, welcome back to the interview booth, and we have Habiba from Society Renewable Energy. Habiba, welcome to our interview booth and welcome to She's Included conference.
Thank you very much to be here.
What are your expectations about this event?
Well, I hope that for once women will be taken seriously. And when I say seriously, it's not just about giving women small grants and ensuring that small businesses are started, but that let's have a situation now where women can actually run serious businesses. Let people start, let banks, I mean, I see a lot of banks, I see a lot of financing companies start thinking of giving women money in billions, not in millions. Millions can't cut it, and we can't do a lot if we are going to turn things around. And I'm just telling one of my colleagues in our WCHIMA stand that we cannot work and want to do things differently if women are not involved. So yes, she's included, but she needs to be included seriously. We need to do.
So if you're given the capital, what do you want to do with it?
I have a number of feasibility done by US for Monday signed a mandate with IFC, and we're seeking equity to add to that site, because this will ensure that over 200,000 people have to electricity and over 20,000 women are business owners in renewables.
Women to be taken very seriously. We want women to be included very seriously. Do you think women have the capacity, when included?
Can never imagine where she's. So if you will not see change, but I believe that women.
Thank you very much. I like the fact that she stressed and reiterated that women should be taken seriously because we have the capacity to contribute to the growth of the economy. Thank you very much. We have Dr. from the National Social Trust Insurance Fund. So tell us how far you've been here since morning. What is your impression about the conference?
Okay, it is actually a wonderful one. It is highly insightful, knowing that this is also the first of its kind. Of course, it is mind-breaking in the terms that women will be rich across board, both traders, farmers, and all round. Yes, knowing that women are highly productive, they will be able to multiply whatever they get from this and impact life.
What do you expect to see after the conference? conference?
Okay, so I expect to see continuity. I expect to see them bridging gap. I expect to see building. I expect to see multiplication. I expect to see people copying and replicating this process.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Olofi.
Olofi from the National Social Trust Insurance Fund. Thank you very much.
Do you know that women are doing a lot of things out here? And I'm seeing varieties of they need to be included. And I think we have another guest here. Please welcome. Yes. Hello. Nice to see you. Good afternoon. And we're talking to
Lydia Falabi. I am a Nigerian in the diaspora. I'm Norway-based. And Scandinavia being one of the pioneers in terms of the rights of women in Sweden, for instance, it is law mandatory 50% of the board must be female. They put in policies that enables women because as a natural result of our biology, there is going to be a time when you step aside to have children, to raise a family, and the policies of the government must support this. It's not to be seen as a weakness, so that when you step away to raise a family, you are not losing your place on the career ladder. You have a 1-year maternity, which can be shared between the father and the mother, so that the fathers also get to spend time with their children. So this is not just a woman thing. We need good men to support us also, which is why I was so excited to listen to the Vice President, because this is a sincere thing, and I believe it. And it's good to see. It was good to meet other ladies who are doing things and being proactive. And it's also good to see a lot of men, because we can talk to each other, but we need good men to work with us as well. So this has been an inspirational launch. It's been nice to see so many female-led enterprises, to listen to you guys, because I got here quite early. So I saw a lot of your interviews. And I hope that this really is a proper start to things, because there's untapped wealth of knowledge, inspirational women of all ages. I'm not Nigerian, but I do work with some of the younger girls in a mentoring capacity outside. So transference of knowledge, sharing what we know, helping to elevate each other, this is all part of the fundamentals. And I'm very pleased to be here, and you. So thank you very much.
I'll pass on to Zainab. Oh, sorry, Halima.
No, thank you very much. Thank you. How do you feel?
Grateful. I feel excited. I can't feel because it's beyond words. But you can see I'm here.
So how can you rate the conference so far?
Believe me, it's 100 over 100 because it's the first one. And I couldn't be happier. This is overdue, and now we are here today. We are excited. We are happy. And Nigeria is taking the leadership in bringing women forward, and women issues are world issues. So we are really happy and excited. We have had everything that needs to be said. I'm from Jigawa State. Our governor just, was announcing our latest initiative on empowering women in Jigawa State right now. All goes to school for free. And what's better than that? Education is it. And if you women, girls, empower them with the education, I mean, that's it. There's nothing more.
Of course, before financial inclusion, you need people to be financially literate. That's a great. You anticipate or using.
I'm really hopeful, and I know that for sure we are going to begin to see changes in our social dilemma. When you empower women, you are reducing your social issues. And right now we have a lot of social issues. And lack of education, lack of, even being enlisted in a community, it's a lot. Women can get depressed, they can get anxiety and stuff like that. So they can be conformed to the norms of what used to be that is not anymore now. empowering them and making them feel wanted, included, will bring about a lot of changes. And the first change you see is in social changes. You to see children being raised, awareness. You will begin to see changes in our social media. Women, because of the society. So this is really an excellent initiative, and I couldn't be happier.
Thank you. We are all happy. Today is our, we are all dead. Thank you very much. Okay, is it Zainab?
I think it's for she, yeah?
Please, it's time for tea break.
We would like to know the name.
My name is Edet Ekpenyong, Ambassador Edet Ekpenyong, the country director and head of Mission International Society of the. Yes.
So tell us about your expectations, especially coming to this event. What were you anticipating, and how, when you came, how did you see the event being?
I'm so excited to be
The
here.
tea is ready.
When I got the
On the
invitation
hall
come
to my
this event,
right, you can go and get
because it has to
something
do
so we
with
can
women,
come back and start the
I
panel
must
discussion.
leave every other thing
Please, the
today
hall
to
to my
be here
right,
to
there's
support our
enough
women.
for
Of course, we all know
everybody.
that,
So please go
women
get something
are
to
the
drink,
greater,
to eat,
pillar
and then we come
of
back
every
here
society.
for
Without
further
women,
conversations.
society
Thank you.
will be wobbling, with one leg. So that's why I've been supporting women activities, anything that has to do with women. That's why I founded the Pan-African Girl Child Education Foundation, which has a special consultative status with the United Nations. So we support the women education, girl child education here in Nigeria and other parts of the world. Even the International Society of Diplomats, I've used my office to influence many positions in the organization. So we are here, we are happy, to from the office of the president to support and really give hope to our women. As the governor of Jigawa said that tells I support you, they will always support you and identify with our women.
You're truly a he for she. Thank you very much. So, okay, yes. Okay.
So, good afternoon. Zainab, she looks very happy to be here, just as we are also happy. Today is our day, we are included. So tell us your name.
My name is Rukait Sadoki, and I'm working with NIDA.
Okay, so tell us, how is NIDA supporting this initiative?
Syria has been supportive this initiative for a time, and I see our DJ Kashiv, it's already also a lot to support women, especially in terms of ICT, in terms of digital literacy and more, and it's something that we are very, very proud of. That's why most of our staff are even here to participate in the She is Included conference and so on, and it's something that we are very, very proud of. And as a woman, when you educate a woman, you educate the whole society. So we are calling on this government to keep on supporting us, keep on supporting NIDA, and the accolade goes to the government.
From Northern Nigeria, what do you anticipate to see when She's Included project gets implemented?
Yes, I want the She is Included program to bring all the Northern women involved, like to educate them in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of business, in terms of education, especially for the digital literacy, for them to be educated as business, because a lot of them are already aware of several business, but how to run the business is another thing. So when you can educate those women, maybe in the market, maybe on how to use the POS, or on how to market their business, or on how to go into the social media, on how to advertise their business, and so many more, I think it's really going to go a long way. So if She's Included conference are going to do that, it's going to be a very big one.
I think they're very prepared to do more than that. We really anticipate 100% implementation and hope to see more women empowered financially and economically. Thank you very much. Zainab, it seems the women are lined up. Every woman wants to share her thoughts concerning this very important conference. Zainab?
So I think everyone is ready, and I'm seeing a lot of he for she's too, not the women. So yes, we can welcome, ma'am. Thank you. And you look beautiful too, ma. Oh, okay. Can we get to know who we're talking to and her expectations before coming? Now that you are here, how do you see things and what is the takeaway?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Modukwe Adeyinka-Oni. I'm an educator and I've been educating children in nursery and primary for 42 years. Yes, I have a foundation called the iAfrica Cloud School Foundation, and that is why I flew to Abuja for this conference. Now, I am so happy have been elevated, and I love all the conversations that are going on about how we will move the country forward if we all come together and lift women up. But I want to just put this here. The last mile, the woman who's selling groundnuts by the side of the road also needs to be elevated. And there's so many of them. There are actually more of them than more of us educated people. And so my appeal coming here is more to say, let us women come together and also increase our efforts to lift up these people. I developed an LMS that actually I use to teach children out of school and women in the last mile, and I've seen such amazing results. And I just feel that if we can teach them to read and write, and then we now give them some social skills, many of these people have access to smartphones, and with smartphones they can educate themselves. And so we have to think beyond just the little financial inclusion and really focus on education. For me, that is the big thing that we need to push and have everybody, women, get on board. Let women educate women. Do you know that with under 10,000 naira, which is a meal, you can actually support a woman in education for a month? So if women decide to support women, we will have this revolution that we're talking about, because I've been there. I've been to the north, to Taraba State, I've been to Abia State. In Makoko in Lagos, there's a community called Tunkarimu. 19 northern states plus Abuja, and most of them are very poor. And many of the women that were married off there, the Seriki Tunkarimu said, many of them have been divorced and they have nowhere to go. And I know that's the story everywhere. And so I just feel, let's add that to the conversation. Let's remember these people that are in the last mile and understand they are the majority. If we can lift them up, we will do a great good for this nation. So
thank you very much. Thank you
so much. Financial and economic inclusion without educating women. And I like the fact where you mentioned women supporting women, women being the champions of the She Is Included project. Thank you very much for speaking with us. Good afternoon, all smiley. Any that comes in here and that comes in here is smiling, because today is our day. Afternoon, what's your name?
Hi, Madam.
And what do you do?
Okay, I'm a writer and I'm a poet. I own a business, like a business consultant. Yeah.
What do you do about the conference?
Okay. Sent me a link and she's like, oh, I know you will like this. And I wasn't even sure. I just applied. I thought it takes a lot of process when you know someone, but I'm really impressed that without just knowing anybody, I got in. And
that's the inclusion we're talking about.
Yes, I really feel included. This is very commendable. And one thing I admire about the whole program is it isn't just the talk in different seminars and conferences. This is action. You see it being done. You see moves. You see results. You see proofs being right in front of you. So I really commend the organizers for bringing up this initiative, especially the Vice President.
Thank you very much. So what do you anticipate to see moving forward with the She Is Included project?
Okay, with the project, I would love to see these things implemented, women championing these programs, these initiatives. Let's women come together, draft out proposals, draft out a framework on how they want to be included. Let women be given seats. And I believe the Office of the Vice President have assured us that every woman has a seat in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I like the part where she said women should come and draft a framework of how they want to be included. Not just the government saying they're including women. Women should also say this is how we want to be included. We have another he for she, walking and coming. He's also smiling. Not just the women are smiling today. Men are supporting women and they are all smiling. Well, you can't come to this and not smile. Zainab.
I love interviewing he for she's because I get to have a different one, different from ours, because we always have our own narrative. So we would love to know who we're talking to and how has your perspective changed, especially when it comes to women inclusion and empowerment.
Is my name. I'm the 23rd President and Chairman of Shadows of Bankers of Nigeria, which is the umbrella body for all the financial institutions in the country. And we are in support of this move, and that's especially invited to add color to what is happening here today. Today is historic, and we have always been part of the history. You know, and women play a very, very important role in our life. And we seem, to have realized that it's not only in CIB and Challenge of Bankers of Nigeria that we respect women.
All right, everyone, we hope that you're having a great tea break. And we are asking all participants to please make their way back inside. We're going to commence the second part of the event. Please kindly make your way back inside as we commence the second part of the event.
And make sure that all our women are well represented in all our council members. And today it has opened a lot of doors for us.
If everyone could please kindly have a seat, we're about to commence the next part of this event. Thank you.
In a very pivotal role in the development of the ecosystem. And even within the system, you will realize that the former governor of CBN came with an initiative that women are allowed to read.
We hope that you enjoyed the first part of the event, but we promise that the next part will be equally as exciting.
This country today is being managed by women.
Led by women.
We go to
so we'll wait for the hall to fill up a little bit and we'll get started.
All of them. So we have more than 12 chief executives today, that are women.
So
by God's grace.
So there are a lot of men still have that thought, which is contrary to yours. Please, what call are you going to?
What we are doing is that, the leadership plays a vital role in this respect. Like I said, when I came in, I made it abundantly clear that the issue of, if you look at the G in my legacy, we said gender, diversity, geographical, and diversity. You understand? We emphasize diversity, and we don't just mention it by word alone. We put it into practical realities. We involve the women in the running of the institutes. And like I said, a lot of them are doing wonderfully in the industry. And the confidence is there. Because when we enter into the industry, hardly can you see a woman that is an ED. But like I said, more than 12 of them today are chief executives, and they are doing very well. And that's it.
Thank you for your time. Thank you very much for your time. I think people are really doing well. Okay. One more person. Okay, to Shikena. Okay, please. Hello. You're looking all shiny and beautiful. Maybe I'll borrow that after the interview. So the name, please.
My name is Solami Akinjaju. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of EFINA. That's Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access.
I've known EFINA to have a lot of research and statistics relating to women. So over the years, what changes have you seen that are visible when it comes to including women in financial and empowering them economically?
A lot has changed, although the progress has been in inches as against in miles. So if you're familiar with research, you know that right now,
we'd like to thank the various stakeholders that have contributed to this
so while the
wonderful event, starting with the Securities and Exchange Commission,
women is at 59%. And we know that
EFINA,
people say
UN Women Nigeria,
half of the population, but it's
Mama
actually slightly
Money,
higher than that.
Microfinance Bank,
so if there's
Women's World Banking, the Grooming Center, the British Council, the Bank of Agriculture, Flourish Africa Foundation, the Development Bank of Nigeria. We'd also like to give a special thanks to Ms. Modupe Oladipo, who's the founder and CEO of Prospera Development Consulting, as well as Mrs. Nonye Ayeni, who is the Executive Director, CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. We'd like to especially thank Dr. Kemi Da Silva Ibru, founder of Women at Risk International Foundation, WARIF, country director of the Tony Blair Institute, Joy Darie, Dr. Jumai Musa, Girl Child Education, Honorable Asamau Mohammed Iganas, Commissioner of Women Affairs, Gombe State, Mariam Uwais, OON, former SA on social investments, Hawa Liman, the technical advisor to the Vice President on Nigerian women, youth engagement and impacts. For the partners and sponsors of today, we'd like to thank MoneyPoint Microfinance Bank, UBA, SunTrust, EFINA, Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access, IRS Energy, The Wheat Baker, UN Women, Wema Bank, Express Payment Solutions Limited, Kudimata, Advancio Interactive, NIMC, Access Bank Holdings, FBN Bank, Fidelity, the Fund Managers Association of Nigeria, as well as ICTA Women Secretariat, So I'd like to also mention some of the members on the planning committee, starting with Dr. Nuruddin Abubakar Zaro, Mrs. Hawa Liman, Dr. Ibrahim Natagwandu, Dr. Ghazali Mud Abubakar, Dr. Israel Igwe, Dr. Stephen Ambore, Shuda Ahmed, Kehinde Edebiri, Akani Abdurrahman, Kyuka Avong Ibrahim, Olusheye Olutimayin Adebi, Aisha Olalade, Adamu Hassan, Kani Figbele, Ayodeji Odusote, Emezino Afebiek, Haruna Abi Ahmed, Enyoha Uchena, Ferdinand Sunday Osai, Mohammed Haruna, Mrs. Uche Uzoebo, who is the new CEO of Sanef Limited, Barrister Miebaka Nyabando, Nafia Mohammed Abdullahi, Malam Mansour Shehu, Fatima Kam Selem, Fatima Komo Bali, and I'll continue with the rest a little bit later. We also like to thank the private sector partners that have partnered with us at this She's Included conference. we'd like to thank the Bank of Agriculture, Flourish Africa Foundation, the Development Bank of Nigeria, Women Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, the Ministry of Livestock Development, the Association of Nigerian Women Business Network, Weevil Foundation, CARE International, Sherifat Balogun Grassroots-Led Initiatives for Gender Equality, Honorable Ambassador Halima Zubeiru Dambata, Women Entrepreneurship and Development Forum, Empower Her Agriculture Foundation, Amina Jamilu, Swafon Action Aid International, Plan International. All right, so we're going to start the rest of the conference. I hope that everybody enjoyed their tea break, and thank you so very much for staying with us thus far. We promised that the first half was great, but the second half promises to be even better. We will start the next panel session in the next 15 minutes, and I'll ask our moderator and our speakers to please get ready to come onto the stage.
From the woman who cares to listen to the woman who cares for more. You are a queen. Life is your kingdom. And this is your time to reign. You deserve wings from every dream, a clear path to every destination, an opportunity for every vision, and an ally through all seasons. I am your sister. I am your friend. I am Sarah, the beginning of better things for you. Sarah by Wema, for women who want better.
The journey to build a sustainable Africa is asking more of the finance sector than ever before. Access Holdings is turning this vision into a reality, thanks to its environmentally conscious financial services. Whether it's reaching for carbon neutrality or inspiring the next generation of leaders, Access is living by its green credentials to ensure that Africa's future is sustainable and prosperous. Access, where financial solutions connect the world.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to be part of the first Gender Inclusion Conference. At Access Bank, we're committed to driving financial inclusion for everyone, especially for women across all regions in the country. Since launching our innovative agency banking model in 2019, we have expanded our reach through a robust network of over 700,000 agents, with 38% of them being women, surpassing the CBN's female agent participation target of 35% as of December 2024. This network allows us to provide essential financial services even in most remote areas of the country. To further promote female inclusion, we have made our entry points more accessible, enabling more women to join our platform. Whether it is savings, loans, or payments, we're committed to empowering women by offering services that are accessible, tailored to their needs, and designed to support them in growing their businesses and improving their households. In 2012, we introduced Better Proposition for the underbanked, an innovative savings account aimed at unbanked and underbanked market segments, especially targeted at women without alienating the men. Our efforts at bridging the gender inclusivity gap over the years have resulted in women representing 40% of our total customer base. So far, we have organized financial literacy programs and free skill acquisitions in different locations across the country. We are excited about the upcoming Gender Inclusion Conference and the conversations it will spark. This conference offers endless possibilities to collaborate, learn, and inspire each other towards building a future where women are at the forefront of financial empowerment. At Access Bank, we believe that financial inclusion is not just about access, it's about opportunity and empowerment. Together, let's create a world where every woman has the right tools to succeed. My name is Chizoba Iheme, the Group Head of Agency Banking and Financial Inclusion. We look forward to connecting with you at the conference. Thank you.
All right, so how's everyone doing? We hope that
is perceived differently by people, from mama in the market to students, professionals, small.
Thank you so much, media team. So MB, how's the day going for you? Absolutely a landmark event. Do you have any thoughts on the first half of the day?
Truly excited at the capacity, the level that people were able to pull into the hall, having the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria here with us. That's a major statement. That's support, and we had royal fathers, we had governors. It truly was beautiful, and it tells us that there's so much more we can do today. We have their support, so we can run, we can fly, man.
Absolutely, we can absolutely fly with their support. Not only their support, but also the support of our wonderful audience members that have stayed with us and are still here, ready to learn and ready to listen to how they can contribute to women's financial and economic inclusion. I don't know about you, but I'm very inspired, extremely inspired. Absolutely. So would you like to tell the rest of the audience what they can expect for the rest of the day?
So we have about 3 panel sessions. We're going to be breaking down the concepts. So we've heard she's included. We've heard about the pillars. We're going to be breaking them down. Remember I said at the beginning that the idea is we want to get you into our world so you understand what's the noise about. We want to educate you so that when you leave there, you become an ambassador for us. We want to make noise around the globe and say, you know what? We're here to advance women's financial and economic inclusion. So we're going to break it down, the conversations. Please take notes because there's so much to learn, and we trust that you'll be better off at the end of it after those 3 panel sessions.
Absolutely. So before we get into the panel sessions, I believe that we have an overview of the gender initiative of the ASHO Accord by Dr. Stephen Amboy, who's the technical lead, Economic and Financial Inclusion Secretariat, Office of the Vice President. Let's put our hands together for Dr. Stephen Amboy. Let's put our hands together, please. Thank you very much. I know it's the afternoon and energies are low, but we assure you that we'll pick right up. So over to you, Dr. Stephen Amboy.
Thank you very much, Lele. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the juiciest part of the event today. I greet you all and accord everyone their due recognition and respect, and permit me to stand on already laid down protocol. Where's the picture that was on the screen, Kyuka? Kyuka. Aha, thank you very much. So this picture was taken in 2022. It's somewhere in Jigawa State. There was a program, it was a collaboration between a government agency and an FMCG. It was basically about good agronomic practice, just basically training farmers on how to improve productivity. This woman here, Mariam, standing amongst men, for the first time in her life, cultivated the same hectare of wheat that she was used to cultivating, but got 100 bags where she used to get 10 bags. So it was a pilot initiative. In our cohorts, our yield was the highest. But guess what? In all the other cohorts, the highest yielding fields belong to women. And what did they do differently from the men? Simple. They followed instructions. That was all they did. Think about if we can boost a woman's productivity. But indeed, there are challenges. Only 21% of women will find themselves in the place that Miriam has found herself. People like Miriam will normally spend 13 hours for unpaid care jobs. They are 3 times less likely than men to have physical assets like land. So even though you can boost their productivity and improve yield and help the GDP of a nation, there's a lot stacked up against them. Second slide. December last year, we visited a project by one of the implementing partners in Maiduguri. We saw amazing things. They gathered women together and set them up into a VSLA group. And they were doing very well. They supported them to start. Something happened. A flood happened in Maiduguri that wiped off everything. The women needed to start from scratch. So they were financially included, but just one incident, it wiped off everything. Resilience is a very, very big challenge. Based on a survey, 47% of women said they are not sure they could raise 45,000 naira in 7 days whenever they face a shock. During COVID-19, 3 over 4 of women face one form of financial shock or the other. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not about an isolated problem. It's a challenge that faces a lot of women. Access to finance is very important, but women face a lot of challenges. Productivity, challenges related to resilience, and when we go to the health perspective, it's basically the same. So what we're looking at is how to support a woman, not just addressing financial inclusion challenges, generally socio-economic challenges. How do we collaborate between implementing agencies so that efforts are not implemented in silos? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what this is all about. In the next couple of hours, we'll be discussing in various panel groups to hear what people are doing, look for points that we can synergize and scale for impact. I know we've spent much time here. I don't want to take most of our time. I will call on the anchors to quickly call the panelists so that we'll get into the conversations. Thank you.
So very much, Dr. Ambore, for that overview of the gender initiative of the ASO Accord. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce the first panel, which will be led by a wonderful advocate for financial and economic inclusion and a woman who has contributed quite significantly to ensuring that Nigerians are financially included. But before we call up our esteemed moderator and speaker, I'd like to tell you a little bit about panel session 1, which is speaking about an ecosystem perspective on successful gender-based initiatives and innovations. We will be showcasing the success stories of financial and economic inclusion, as well as socioeconomic initiatives that are changing the lives of excluded women in Nigeria, and discussing strategies to scale up successes and accelerate access for women. We have somebody quite special that will be giving us the context for this. So please join me in welcoming AIG Aishat Abubakar Baju, Assistant Inspector General of Police and Gender Advisor to the Inspector General of Police. I think we can do better than that. For AIG Aishat Abubakar Baju, Assistant Inspector General of Police and Gender Advisor to the Inspector General of Police. It's an honor to have you with us to give us this context. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the claps. We appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. It's not Aishat. I call myself Aishat to Abubakar Baju. I'm sorry. Abdurrahman, where is my PA, please? With my... Sorry, I'm having issues with this laptop. I can't put it on your speech.
Let's kindly give her a moment while she locates her presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to stand on the existing protocol. Although most of the dignitaries have left, we are just about to do the main business. And it is a great privilege for me to stand here this afternoon to set the context for the next session, for the first session in this conference. I am AIG Aishatu Abubakar Baju, OONMNI, the Gender Advisor to the Inspector General of Police, and I will be setting the context for this session, which is on an ecosystem perspective on successful gender-based initiatives and innovations. We are going to be showcasing the success stories of financial, economic, and socio-economic initiatives changing the lives of excluded women in Nigeria. I was just telling my ACA that I'm going to speak on, to set the context on an area that is a little bit out of my comfort zone. I thought I was going to speak more of police inclusivity, what we do, but then it's fine. I will juggle through it. Nigeria, like many countries, faces significant challenges in promoting gender equality and empowering women. And despite the progress in some areas, many women in Nigeria continue to face systemic barriers to economic participation, social inclusion, and also political representation. However, we are all aware that there are numerous stories of gender-based initiatives and innovations, successful stories indeed, through government interventions, such as trader money, mobile money solutions, and so many others that have transformed the lives of excluded women in this country. These initiatives have demonstrated that with the right ecosystem support, women can overcome obstacles and achieve economic, social, and political empowerment. Despite the successes, challenges such as low financial literacy, digital infrastructure gaps, and gender disparity still need to be addressed to further expand financial inclusion. A gender-based initiative or innovation does not operate in isolation, and I think that is why we have all diverse people here today. And its success depends on a broader ecosystem of strategies comprising, first and foremost, we must have enabling policies and law to create an environment that is conducive for women empowerment. We also need a lot of funding. I'm happy that the Honorable Minister this morning assured us, of course, the President, one of his key points is gender inclusivity, and we are happy to hear that the budget for this year for gender is increased, which is good news. It also includes raising awareness, generating gender disaggregated data, gender mainstreaming across board, including gender-sensitive budgeting, which is, of course, what this regime is also talking about. Then institutional support, very important to provide resources, capacity building, and technical assistance. We also need a lot of community engagement, which will foster social norms and behaviors that promote gender equality. Similarly, we need private sector partnership, leveraging resources, expertise, and network to scale up initiatives. We also need women's leadership participation, ensuring that women are at the forefront of designing, implementing, and benefiting from these initiatives. The objectives, I'm sure from the context that was said by Dr. Zauro this morning, is all encompassing. He has already talked about the objectives for this conference, but specifically, some of the objectives for this particular session include to showcase successful financial, economic, and socioeconomic initiatives that have improved the lives of excluded women in Nigeria, and also analyze the ecosystem factors that contributed to their success, and also for us to identify the gaps and identify strategies to scale up the successes and accelerate access for women, among other issues. So based on the foregoing, you all agree with me that a holistic ecosystem-based approach is critical for the success of gender-based initiatives in Nigeria. By adopting an ecosystem perspective, we can better understand how to create sustainable and impactful initiatives that empower women and promote gender equality in Nigeria. To add a little bit on my part, I want to assure all of you here that the Nigerian police, under the leadership of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbotokun, NPM, PhD, aligns with this inclusivity. We understand the different perspectives, different needs of men and women in our society, and we are working towards ensuring that we become highly gender responsive in our approaches and our interaction with the community. We are also aware of, also come with our gender policy that talks about gender mainstreaming across board in Nigerian police to make sure that we have women at very strategic places. And the IG is also aligning with Mr. President's initiative to ensure that the Nigerian police is not gender discriminatory, that it has equal opportunity for both men and women in the Nigerian police force. I will now, with this little context that I set for this conversation this afternoon, I will now hand over to our moderator, Ms. Modipe Oladipo, to continue the discussion with our very competent members of the panel team. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ms. Modupe Oladipo, who is the founder and CEO of Prosper Development Consulting. Joining her on the panel will be Mrs. Nonye Ayeni, the Executive Director and CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC. Let's put our hands together for her, please, as she comes onto the stage. The Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, represented by Victoria Fag. I'm so sorry. The representative for the Director General of the National Information of Technology Development Agency, please kindly make your way to the stage. The representative for the Director General of the National Pensions Commission, PENCOM, please kindly make your way to the stage. And the representative for the Director General of National Identity Management Commission, please kindly make your way to the stage. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want you to let me stand on the existing protocol so we can move on. Due to the fact that we're running severely late, I've been asked to try and keep this panel as succinct as possible, so we're going to try that. I would like to welcome my panelists. To my right, I have the Executive Director and CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Mrs. Nonye Ayeni. Welcome. To my left, I have Dr. Babatunde Alayonde, representing the DG of PENCOM. Welcome. Further down, I have Victoria Fabumi, the National Coordinator at NIDA. She's representing the DG of NIDA. Welcome. I see two people which I'm a bit concerned about. Are you both representing NIMSI? You're both representing NIMSI. Okay, great. So, Dr. Alvan Ikuku, yes, thank you, is representing NIMSI, and his colleague is also representing NIMSI. Okay, so welcome everybody. In the interest of time, I esteemed panelists bring a wealth of expertise from various sectors. Together, we'll try and explore some of the successes, some of the bold initiatives we need to take to move us to the next level. Yes, everybody has talked about achievements have been made, but we still have a long way to go. So without further ado, I'll start off with Mrs. Nonye Ayeni from NEPC. I would like to find out, how can NEPC assist micro-scale businesses in exporting their local produce through cooperatives to enhance sustainable incomes, and through any other channels that you think? Because as we want to sort of empower more women to participate in the high end of the value chain, export is one of the key ways of doing so. So if you can just talk us through that, that would be grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Modupe. I'm glad to be here because it gives me an opportunity to speak with my women. And let me say that MSMEs, they are the bedrock of any economy, and they are very pivotal for sustainable economic growth and development. And when you're talking about MSMEs, majority of them are women. And at NEPC, we try to aggregate these women in clusters, the MSMEs in clusters, leveraging on our state coordinating offices. We have offices in all the states, including the FCT. So we aggregate them in clusters. So we try to build their capacity. When you say exporters, some of them, all of them are registered in the council, but not necessarily all of them are exporters. Some of them are not exporting, but they are major players in the export value chain. So we aggregate them in clusters, leveraging on our 36 states, our presence in 36 states, by building their capacity, grooming them, teaching them how they can become export ready. We teach them on issues on good agricultural practices, on storage practices. We teach them on packaging. Packaging and labeling is very, very important, very critical for quality export. You see some of them, you'll be amazed, very much amazed at what some of our women have done. From spices, some of them are here, from spices to tea, to creams, to different things, even to fashion. They've done a lot. And then we groom them, and then getting them in clusters will help us to certify them. I talked about capacity building. Last year alone, we did 634 programs across Nigeria, impacting 64,000 participants. I think that's a good one. And majority of them, at least 35% of them, are women. And we also use that cluster to do certification. The last 2-3 years, we've done about 400. Certification is, you need to be able to get international certification to have access to niche market and for you to also be able to export to some countries. And we've done certification in terms of, we have the HSCCP, you have ISO 22000. So we've done about 452. Supported them, sponsored 100%. And out of those 452 in the last 2 to 3 years, we have about 150 that are men. And with this, you can see some of these women exporting to different countries in Africa, in Europe, and even in America. So apart from certification, there's what we call the mentorship program. We realize that it's not so easy for you to wake up and say, oh, I want to export. Some of you would have known that even when you have the money, you're desirous of exporting, there are some other things. So we also have what we call the mentorship program, where we connect the new exporters to the experienced exporters. We make them, and they train them for 2 months or thereabout, teaching them the rudiments of export. And with that program, we've seen some people, they've started exporting. But beyond that, one of the things that we are talking about is digital trade. And we've been able to work with some of our exporters, teaching them, helping them with their website. And some of them, we've also taught them, don't run programs on e-commerce. And you see some of them, their goods are already on Amazon and on Jumia, and they're doing very well. And then finally, we also take them to the market. We've taken them to market in partnership with some of our development partners, ITC, WTO. We took some to, there was in 2019, some went to Liverpool. I'm sure they are in the ITC global event, Liverpool in England. We took them to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. We went to Las Vegas for those in fashion, and they were able to connect them to some of the importers. We've taken them to Cairo during the IATF. There are quite a number of things, but I want to also state that there are some specific clusters that we have also worked on with the ITC. The particular one for the sheep trade, you have in Shaki, where we have people that are doing shea butter, and we've impacted about, that's a common facility center, we've impacted about 4,000 women. You need to see their products. Majority of us are using their cream. Some of us don't buy creams outside. You need to, it's comparable to what you see outside. So the women are doing great things, and we know that women are resilient. You teach a woman, women are resilient, they are dogged. Whatever they set their minds to do, they do it very well, and they have the spirit that never says die. So you will need to, then there is also, sorry I'm taking your time, but it's good for us to use this opportunity to also, we actually applied, I don't know how many of the women have heard about the World Fund. Dr. Ngozi Okoji-Iweala launched it in Abu Dhabi in February last year. Women exporters in digital economy. They are going to select out of almost 200 BSOs and countries, they are going to select only 3. So we applied on behalf of our women. And we've scaled through the first level, we've done the interview, and if we are successful, if they pick us to be one of the 3 out of the 200 BSOs, we have women, it will open them up to training, to grants that will enable them further scale up what they are doing in terms of e-commerce. So we are working on that, and in preparation of that, we are doing some training. I would like to also speak to the one program that is very close to our heart. We call the NEPC Connect. The NEPC Connect, we've realized that there's a big gap between us and our women and other exporters. So we created what we call the NEPC Connect, and it's a webinar series. We use that to train them, groom them, teach them what they need to do. And we've done 4 series last year, and we've impacted 15,000 people. We brought banks, people from the banking industry, from customs, just to teach them the rudiments, the way they should document, the way they will keep their books, and all the rest of them. And finally, we're also proud to say that we set up 2 months ago what we call the ESAC Center in our office in Apapa, where we are training. We are in partnership with Lelouk. I'm sure some of you know Lelouk. We are training women and youth on the use of, for them to make bags using Nigerian fabrics, and you'll be amazed what they've done. The first graduates, about 50 of them, they are graduating in the next few weeks. So there are so many things. And again, in NEPC, we have a unit we call Women in Export, a desk dedicated for women. And we have that in different regions, in all the regions and states. So I think women are powerful people, they are dogged, and we need to support them, we need to empower them, we need to support them to scale up and do great things, especially in export. Thank you very much.
During the break, you were telling me of one particular success story about the hibiscus. I would like you to just quickly share that story with the audience, because I think it's always good to celebrate success.
Okay. Well, we all know that Nigeria, hibiscus, I always say that Nigeria is blessed. Most of you would have heard me say Nigeria is blessed. We have over 1,000 agricultural products and commodities in commercial quantities. But some of those products are being rejected in various countries. We have the case of sesame and other things. Hibiscus, for some years, Mexico, incidentally, is the highest importer of hibiscus. Zobo, when we say hibiscus, Zobo, we all know Zobo, right? Okay, so Mexico, incidentally, is the largest importer of Nigerian hibiscus. And they were rejecting Nigerian hibiscus, until working with different agencies, particularly NAQS, that's a quarantine, working with the Nigerian embassy, Mexican embassy in Nigeria, and the Association of Hibiscus Players. We signed an MOU with Mexican embassy and COMSI, which represents the Chamber of Commerce in Mexico. And for the first time, we saw hibiscus come from a rejected product to become the top 10 exportable agricultural product in Nigeria. And then just last week, we went on a mission. We took about 20 exporters to Mexico on a trade mission, and at least half of them were women. And we've discussed with them, and you begin to see a lot of things going to happen with regards to hibiscus, not just on hibiscus, on cashew. So I'd like to also use this opportunity to talk to the women that are in export. It doesn't really matter if you've not exported. We are prepared at NEPC to groom you, mentor you, build your capacity, and by God's grace, if we're able to be selected as well, empower you with funding so you can scale up and be able to do much more than you're doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. So as this is a She's Included conference, it'll be ladies first, and then it will be ladies last. So we'll have the first voice, and we'll also have the last voice. So I would like to ask Victoria from NIDA, how can NIDA incorporate digital financial literacy training for women in particular into its digital literacy framework and deploy training centers, especially in the local communities, so that we get women more involved in digital? Thank you. No. I don't know if your side mic is working or not. Just let me pass it to her, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for that question. How can NIDA include financial digital literacy in the current National Digital Literacy Framework? So today, NIDA has the National Digital Literacy Framework, which it's currently sensitizing across the country and sharing with people the goal or our aim to ensure that Nigeria reaches 70% digital literacy by 2027. And the aim is to ensure that at least the majority of the population can use at the very basic level, access connectivity, access the internet to run their day-to-day activities. We have several programs today, such as the DL for All, which is Digital Literacy for All, a program through which NIDA is using to champion conversations on digital literacy across 36 states, including FCT. And we're collaborating with financial service providers, particularly Fintech, on creating digital literacy content that can better improve access to digital financial services for people who are currently excluded, particularly people who are in underserved or underreached areas. So the way we're thinking about it today is through that collaboration and through partnership with private sector and other MDAs, we're able to disseminate this content so that at the base level, people learn fraud and it means they can access tailored content and help them improve not just their digital literacy, but how they can apply what they've learned through these digital learning centers for their businesses and for their general well-being. So those are some of the things that we're doing. We basically believe that education, which is the digital literacy program through the framework, will improve access with providing access to infrastructure, which is the learning centers, will help. But most importantly, we also think that collaboration is key. How are we working with MDAs across board? How are we working with private sector to ensure that not just access to resources and tools, but then the application comes through so that we can begin to map or begin to rest that cross board. Thank you.
Just a quick question. So those digital learning centers, how do you ensure that everybody in the place knows about them, what services they can get from them?
Thank you very much. So essentially is, and I think we'll still speak about that, is how we leveraging data with creating contextualized programs in each of these digital learning centers. So at the core of what we do, we think about localization and contextualization. In certain areas, it's agriculture that's the focus, and a lot of women are focused there. So how do we leverage data with creating the right resources and access? In other areas, NPC mentioned, it might be shared border, or it might be actual artisan skills. How do we still contextualize the content, the resources, and access so that people can access some of these resources? So that's the plan. We're also working with local innovation ecosystems. What we do at my Office for Nigerian Digital Innovation, is to strengthen hubs across the country. So beyond just rolling out these centers, we're going to be working with innovation intermediaries in each of the states to ensure that people have access, whether they're within the ecosystem or outside, but they can access digital literacy resources for their businesses.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very helpful. The gentleman from PENCOM. I know we were quite instrumental. Micropensions has been launched. It's a few years now. And on your website, you have very good data. I must commend your organization for having very comprehensive data, even by gender as well, which is great. Well, I would like to understand, given that more women work in informal sector, what are you doing to really encourage? Because when I go and check the stats, I still see that, men in micropension space more men than women. So what can you do as PENCOM to really try and encourage more women to take up micropensions? Thank you.
Thank you very much. What the Commission has been doing, especially to encourage women to participate in the micropension plan, is to look at the characteristics of the informal sector, as well as the participants in this sector that are mostly women. And when you look at one of the characteristics of the sector, you will agree with me that the sector is dominated by self-employed people. And because of this, the Pension Reform Act of 2014, Section 2.3 of the Act, stipulates that pension should be provided to organizations with less than 3 employees, based on the guidelines that will be issued by PENCOM. So, on the basis of the characteristics of the informal sector, the Commission has come up with guidelines on micropension plan. And the Commission also realized that employment in the informal sector is unstructured. Income is also not structured in the informal sector, just as activities in the sector is also not structured. So to this extent, the Commission has so much crafted the guidelines on micropension that it can favor both men and women participating in the sector. And one of the things that the Commission has done is to ensure that contribution into micropension plan is made flexible. The reason for the flexibility is because income in the sector is not stable. Earnings in this sector are unpredictable. So to that extent, women particularly, and as well as men in the sector, are allowed to contribute into this pension plan either weekly or daily. They can contribute monthly, they can as well contribute quarterly, depending on their financial capability. So, because of the unstructured nature of informal sector, the Commission came to realize the fact that pension system in the sector cannot be structured the way it is structured for the formal sector. For example, in the formal sector, organizations know when they are likely to pay their salary. But in the formal sector, you don't know when you are likely to get business. You don't know when you are likely to make money. So to that extent, pension contribution has been made flexible so that you can contribute to your retirement savings account based on where you have money. In addition to that, the Commission also came to realize that a lot of women in the informal sector are not covered by any social protection. And because they are not covered by any social protection, they are highly vulnerable to negative events in the economy, which I can call shocks. So they are exposed to different types of shocks in the economy. And they will need money to cushion this shock, the effect of these shocks. So to that extent, the retirement savings account for micro pension contributors are segmented into two. There is the contingency portion and there is the retirement benefit portion. The contingency portion is 40% of your retirement savings account, whereas the pension benefit portion is 60%. So from this contingency portion, you can withdraw to cushion the effect of any unforeseen circumstances. And because of the characteristics of women in this sector, the Commission is putting up some incentives for women in this respect, in the sense that instead for all to be allowing them to collect 40%, maximum of 40% of their RSA, women should be allowed to collect up to 50 or 60% of their savings because of their multiple role in the household. So apart from this, the Commission also took note that a larger group of workers in the informal sector, particularly women, a lot of them are not as that educated. Hence, they may not understand the workings of pensions and savings. And to that extent, because of limited income or low income in the sector, they cannot keep money for a very long time without having recourse to withdraw some of it. So, in this respect, what the Commission has done is to make sure that as and when required, women have access to this fund in their retirement savings account. But what the Commission is struggling to achieve right now, to encourage women particularly, is to incentivize contributors into the micro pension plan. When you look at formal sector workers, the employees of these formal organizations, they will contribute certain percentage, which is 8%. Then their employers will match their contribution by contributing 10% on behalf of their employees. But the micro pension contributor is self-employed. He or she is his own employer, and he or she is the same employee of that business. And we need to match their contribution as well to give them incentive. More so that we know that at a certain point in time, women may go out of business in the informal sector, especially during pregnancy and childbirth. And after childbirth, they will also need another 6 or 7 months to win before they win that child. So to that extent, we need incentives that will cushion the effect of when women are out of employment because of this their role in the household. So these are the policies that the Commission has put in place and is also trying to do to ensure that women are not disadvantaged as far as micro pension plan is concerned.
Thank you very much. So who will make the contribution, for the women now? Who will make that contribution? Is it government we're expecting to make the additional contribution? PENCOM, perhaps from your, or who?
Thank you very much. When you look at success stories of micro pension all over the world, in most cases, these matching contributions, they come from government revenue. For example, part of the Rwanda case that people are celebrating today, that 24 million women are participating in micro pension, it was because of government contribution. And that is why women are encouraged to come out in large numbers to participate in the scheme. However, we are also trying to talk to some development partners to be of help in this regard. So these are the areas we are focusing on development partners, as well as talking to government with time about it.
Okay, we would add our voices to the request, the advocacy to the government, definitely.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Ikoku, last but not the least, NIMSI, as we've had many, I think if I ask the audience how many people have had to register NIMSI multiple times, I think we see many hands. Please, can we just do a quick vote? How many people have had problems with registering in NIMSI? Don't be shy. Put up your hands. Thank you. So we have had many challenges, many issues, but we hope that this has been overcome. But we want to know what you're going to do to help women, right? I know you have high number of women. I don't know what your percentage of registration is at the moment, if you have that data. But you know women are short of time. You know that we are doing multiple things. So when we go and register, we are hoping that it will be done simply and quickly. So how can you help to ensure that more women register, and also that when we do register, we are not having these multiple issues of multiple registrations? Thank you. Not to put you on the hot spot. Your side thing. Okay, use my mic.
Madam Moderator, that's as hot can be. Thank you very much for that, all the same. We're always in the eye of the storm, but I would like to correct that narrative that it's for the good reasons. Let me start by saying that in NIMSI, she is eminently included. That will be my starting statement. She is very eminently included. We understand those sensitivities that also women have multiple roles to play. And so at the Commission, even the process of enrollment, which is very core to our assignment for the issuance of the National Identification Number, we ensure that we make that process as easy as possible for women. And part of our plans in doing so is to ensure that, especially where there are such cultural sensitivities, that we have special cues for women, that we are also very considerate of women perhaps who are bearing children and also the aged. Perhaps who are bearing children and also the perhaps who are bearing children and also the aged